Hello and welcome to another episode of the Best Kept Secrets of Greene County, New York podcast. I'm your host, Mark Gustavson, and I am joined by my brand new, wonderful co-host, Jessica Dupont, the Economic and Community Development Specialist for Greene County. Hey, Jess, how's it going?
Hi, how are you?
We're doing well. We're up here on the mountain in the painted village in the sky, Tannersville, New York, with two wonderful folks from the Hunter Foundation, and that's our best kept secret of Greene County. We'll get into this a lot more, but these are the folks that are mainly responsible for redevelopment, taking eyesores and turning them into islands of opportunity up here on the mountaintop. And first and foremost, the Executive Director, Sean Mahoney. Sean, how's it going?
It's great. Thanks for coming.
Well, we're happy to be here. Now, you also serve the town as well, right?
I do.
You are the town supervisor?
That is correct.
The village of Tannersville is in the town of Hunter.
As well as the village of Hunter.
So Greene County has 19 municipalities, there are 14 towns, and 5 villages. 2 of the villages are right here in the town of Hunter. That's Hunter and Tannersville.
That's correct. We're a very unique town.
And we are also very, very, very happy to be joined by Sarah Slutzky, a board member here.
Yep.
And Sarah, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, this is fantastic. Now, Sarah's name may be familiar to some folks. It's definitely familiar to everybody that lives and works in Greene County because they've been integral in the development not only of the ski resort business at Hunter Mountain, but my favorite best kept secret is the snowmaking capability that originated here with your grandfather, was it?
Yeah, my grandfather and my uncle, Orville and Izzy.
Orville and Izzy Slutzky.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I know. They were forward thinkers.
You bet. And the 1980 Olympics in Lake Placid
Yes.
would not have gone on without them moving all of their technology up there and saying we're going to make some snow and so people will be able to ski and ski jump.
Yes, they still have those historic stories they talk about at holidays going
The older we get, the more we do that.
Yes, yes.
Well, Sarah's got a great background story to talk about some of the stuff she's been doing in business here. Sean, of course, is committed to everything going on in the town of Hunter. Together, they're working at the Hunter Foundation. I'd like just to have Jess maybe take us through a couple of the questions that we came up with, give us a little insight, and Jess, you can take it away.
All right. Could you guys explain the origins of the Hunter Foundation? How did it start?
I'll let Sean take that.
So the Hunter Foundation was started in 1997 by 3 local businessmen and people, community-minded people, one of which was Sarah's grandfather, Orville Slutzky. Ron Wagner, who used to run and manage Tannersville Supply, which was the local lumber and hardware store, and Sean Byrne, another Sean. And Sean Byrne was the original executive director of the Hunter Foundation, and really it started pretty humble. They applied for money. Orville actually fronted the money originally to get this going. They were just painting buildings that needed it. Around the time in the 90s, Tannersville looked way different. Yeah.
That is absolutely did.
There was really no colors.
No.
And you had a lot of whites and you had a lot of grays and you had a lot of paint peeling. Mm-hmm. It looked really tired. So the Hunter Foundation was started to put a coat of paint on things. Those 3 spearheaded the organization, but it evolved quickly.
Yeah.
So
Now, has it always been a 501c3
yes.
not-for-profit, right?
Yes,
so
it
that's
has.
so that's enabled them to seek all those incentives available to those non-for-profits.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, as a not-for-profit, it's helpful from a donation perspective.
Correct,
but one thing that we're very proud of is as a 501c3, you're typically allowed to not pay property taxes. However, the Hunter Foundation pays full property taxes on every single one of its properties.
And Greene County thanks you, I'm very sure.
Yeah, so does the local municipalities.
So that's a reveal. That's a secret.
Yeah.
Not all 501c3s leverage their tax status to be able to not support their communities through taxes.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a huge piece of what we do. We try to hire local. We try to be local to the best of our ability, and given the amount of properties that we own and manage, it's critical that we pay taxes.
Sure.
Could you talk a little bit about how local businesses, financial groups, or municipal governments played in supporting your initiatives?
Certainly. Our mission is really, in the mission, it's focused on the town of Hunter. However, we've had impact greater than the town of Hunter into the wider region, the mountaintop, certainly. We have a formal MOA, a Memorandum of Agreement, with the Village of Tannersville to be their economic development partner. It has meant a number of things, but typically we write the grants, we come up with the crazy ideas, we pitch it to the village, and if the village is on board with our crazy idea, they'll sign on to it, and we seek out the funding. We provide other soft sort of skills and costs. And in many cases, like the Upper Lake Park, the village then runs with the ball in execution.
So Upper Lake Park, that redevelopment was fun. There's a ribbon cutting this weekend, right?
That's
I
correct.
think it was like 2 o'clock
August
up there.
16th is going to be a big deal.
Big deal. So we have to come up there and
Please
make
do.
sure that we do a little documentation on that. But I can remember driving by when it was under construction, and Upper Lake is part of the Lake Rip Van Winkle here in the village of Tannersville. And it is just a great area. There was frisbee golf there at one point. I'm not sure if that's still.
It's not. It's being relocated.
Being relocated to someplace else, but exemplary project. Was that funded under DRI or New York Forward or
No? So that was actually a consolidated funding application.
CFI? CFA, right? Yeah.
But the DRI has been an incredible thing for the Village of Tannersville. We spearheaded that project out of this office in conjunction with Mayor Lee McGonigal and the Village of Tannersville. So it was a huge win for the village.
Yeah, that resulted in a $10 million award.
That's correct.
You guys worked together with the community to determine what projects were going to actually happen. Were you involved in that, Sarah?
Yeah, I was on the advisory committee for that decision, and ultimately we made the recommendations of what we thought the best projects would be to put forward to the state,
Right.
and then the state ultimately decided on what projects were viable. A lot of great ideas came through. It did require the business owner to support it financially as well. It was a grant that was matched. That created some challenges, and then there's a smaller grant opportunity for those that didn't meet the minimum qualifications, where they could apply through the village, which it was after everything was approved. But it was really exciting to be a part of that and get $10 million for our small little community.
That's exactly what that type of grant funding should be funded.
Yeah.
Is local community development efforts that are so crucial to success in small towns. Rural America, funded properly, they get stuff done.
It was a historic moment. We were the smallest community ever to receive the DRI. Now, subsequently, some other small communities have gotten it, but we were the first. And it's not just $10 million. As you know, there's a local match based on the projects that we've had in the village. We're north of $40 million of investment.
Now, you just had a groundbreaking on a new housing effort that's going on. Were you guys involved in that as well?
We were.
Very good.
Try to be as brief as possible, but essentially during COVID, real estate market on the mountaintop was just insane. People were being displaced and homes were being bought. People were being told that they had to move out. And we had local people that we know and love that were ultimately going to be homeless. On top of that, where you used to be able to buy a starter home, earning a modest salary, those days were over. The Hunter Foundation said, we got to do something. We need to find workforce housing.
Sure.
We put out an RFP for affordable workforce housing developers. We got a number of responses back. One stood above the rest.
And that's that Rupco?
That is Rupco.
Yeah, they have a great reputation for bringing affordable housing.
They've been incredible to work with. So they came, we showed them a number of locations. We put them in as a cornerstone project in the DRI application. We advocated for them at Greene County Legislature for some startup funding.
Sure.
Here we are now in 2025, and they have secured $30+ million in funding, and we're going to have 56 new units of affordable workforce housing, 1/3 of which being senior housing in the village of Tannersville.
And a success like that is also taken place up in Prattsville. That might have served a little bit as a model for that type of community living, affordable housing. I was having this discussion the other day when we were running through Wyndham and seeing these $1.2 to $1.7 million homes on the market, and they were talking about somebody else that was possibly coming into Hensonville, and they might be doing 20 condo units up there. And I said, like, market value or affordable? And they're like, well, how do you define affordable? And I said, can somebody that works at one of these resorts actually afford one?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And you guys doing that from a personal standpoint, very commendable. It's really
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's pretty amazing.
And we have a real workforce need. I mean, Sarah is at Hunter Mountain,
Yeah.
and that's the biggest economic engine in our town, and one of the largest in the county. And
Absolutely.
employs
And
a
now
lot
it's
of
part of the
people.
Vail Group as well, right?
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
So that's got tentacles that go everywhere.
Yeah,
yeah?
absolutely. And it's replacing a property that was ultimately defunct, needed to be removed. So
Yeah.
it's re-beautified the area.
Not Hunter Mountain. We're not talking
No,
about
yeah.
Hunter Mountain does
Still
not
there.
It does not to be re-beautified, and
No,
it does not need
no.
definitely
sorry.
be removed.
Clarify. Yes,
But
the new workforce housing.
What
is-
was the property? It was the
It was a Cold Spring
Cold
Hotel.
Spring Hotel.
And it was
Yeah.
in ruins. It was a zombie
Oh, it was.
property.
Mhm.
It was an eyesore for many years.
So speaking of Hunter Mountain driving the economy, especially in the wintertime, when I was a kid coming up, I'm a recovering musician, so the ski season came up and we were playing up here on the mountain. I've never had a set of skis or a snowboard under me in my life. That was our big time, was we would be playing 10 to 2 every number of these clubs that all had live bands at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And that kind of went away when the drinking age went to 21. But I'm showing my age. I always do. But we used to play a club called the Mid Station, which was halfway between Tannersville and Hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it was just this derelict old hotel. There was a ton of them
Yeah.
around at the time, and
There was.
and you guys have been integral in reclaiming those types of property.
Maybe the largest one around was called Slopes. Slopes was a massive nightclub, kind of tailing off when I was coming of age.
Yeah.
It was located almost to the light in Tannersville.
Right.
So the Hunter Foundation purchased that, I want to say, in 2005, and did a very amazing renovation to it, and now it serves a number of roles. One is our Tannersville Antiques store, which the Hunter Foundation owns and operates. And on the upper floors, we have yoga, Pilates, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and we also we offer affordable housing for Vail Resorts employees in the wintertime.
Tell me about the farm.
The farm, yeah.
I've been driving past this now for about 4 or 5 years, seeing it just get bigger and bigger and bigger all the time.
I know.
But for folks that are interested in being a locavore up on the mountaintop, tell me again, the farm name is the
Fromer Market
Fromer
Gardens.
Market?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been running now. How many years have we had that?
So we
operating?
purchased it in 2013, but
Yeah.
I think we had it operating, I want to say, in 2017.
Yeah, and we have an amazing lead farmer. It's a team of ladies that
Awesome.
run that farm, which is awesome. I love telling that
Yes.
story
Yeah.
because it's a seasonal workforce. We have Sam who runs the place, but she brings in a seasonal workforce that actually work at Hunter Mountain in the wintertime. And then they come and work for the farm in the summer, and they love it, and they're wonderful, and they're working with the school, and they're just doing everything they can to create this beautiful bounty that you can go and buy on the streets of Tannersville.
And it is located right near the high school campus, right?
Share a lawn.
Share a lawn,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So that's a great thing. So, I was talking with Dave Cashman about him coming up through the Hunter Tannersville school system.
Yeah.
And, in my day, I did kindergarten to first grade in Catskill. My father got promoted at the prison, and then we ended up going up to Coxsackie, and I tell everybody I did 10 years in Coxsackie. And then I ended up graduating high school in 1980 with the kids I went to first grade with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which was,
That's a nice full circle.
It was really kind of neat.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. But things that drove the economy at that point were all kind of changing quite a bit.
It's exciting times.
happening.
Yeah.
Opportunities of the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm seeing a lot of renovation, especially in Hunter, of residential stuff. It seems like, rising tide is sort of carrying all boats.
The village of Hunter and the village of Tannersville are geographically different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So in the village of Tannersville, you have sort of a condensed commercial environment, right?
Mhm.
Lots of retail and different types of businesses. The village of Hunter, you're 100% right, is going through a revival
Yeah.
at the moment. It has some retail, but it also has a lot of residential within the village.
Yep.
And that's, from an economic development perspective, it's a little bit more challenging to deal with that. But thankfully, you have great property owners and people that believe in the vision of our community that are investing real dollars, and it's happening.
There's a similar situation going on in Cairo. My parents grew up in Cairo, were married in the Cairo Methodist Church in 1944. That was a real bustling area. It was the center of the county at one point, right? So it was a very high density retail, but then there was also residential with Route 23 directly up to Wyndham, affectionately known, or not so, as the Cairo bypass. My residents, that everything just sort of died from 1963 to it's coming back now. The parallels that I see here is like with Hunter, is now that there's new investment, especially with the Vail Group coming in and all of that, that's very exciting. There are local community support groups that are together and people want to do more, want to make it better. There's a lot more going in. And you have things like the Docto Center, the Hunter Library, which is really wonderful. There is a vibrant area that's growing up, but for years and years there were those defunct clubs right along 23 that are now one by one being turned into something else, and it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got Scribner's has been a huge thing, and the Bluebird, Fellow Cafe.
Fellow.
Catskill Mountain Foundation is like, they're the anchor store of Hunter. Really. They own a lot, and that's another great foundation of the arts for the community that works well with the Hunter Foundation.
Yeah,
so the Hunter Foundation's more about the economic development side and the reclamation, renovation, redevelopment.
Yeah.
As I understand the Catskill Mountain Foundation, it's a lot more arts driven, which is fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Bringing it to the community and providing
workshops and
amazing
programs and
arts opportunities.
Amazing performance opportunities.
I sat in like the third row a month ago and saw a New York City ballerinas. Like I could hear their shoes creak. I mean, that's an incredible opportunity.
It is.
For the last 20 years, we have been blessed to have world-class performances of a variety of different arts and cultural performers and entertainment here at the Orpheum Theater in the village of Tannersville and at the Dr. O Center in Hunter. The Catskill Mountain Foundation was also a beneficiary of the DRI, and they have done just an incredible job at their theater, which is state-of-the-art now. It is absolutely state-of-the-art. I was told that there's like one theater in New York City that can rival it from a technology perspective at this point.
This may or may not be correct, but there was a tech director that was brought in for Lumberyard down in Catskill. And it still is a functional black box theater, but is a post-production haven because you can shoot green screen in there. And folks that have come up to do productions there really, really enjoy it. I believe he was involved in the redesign of the lighting system because that's his specialty. My college degree in technical theater involved sliders and analog things and hand focusing lights and follow spots and now everything moves on its own. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, technology keeps it moving.
That's it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Are you planning any new programs coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. I can talk to you about a great program that we have planned at Frommer Market Gardens, which we call the Culinary Education Hub. A $366,000 grant from the DRI with a $500,000 grant from the USDA through Senator Kirsten Gillibrand's office. With local match, we've got about a $1.2 million project, and we're building a culinary kitchen, but it is going to be focused on culinary education. We're a very hospitality-focused community, and also we're partnering with the school to get some of the kids into the hospitality program. We would like to do Serve Safe training there, but we would also like to do really fun cooking classes. And we'd like to have our local chefs involved in that, of which we have many. And so we are planning to break ground on that, I want to say in the spring, but it could be earlier.
Oh, even better. So we should be thinking about a forthcoming episode of the Great Hunter Cooking Show.
We would love to talk about that. So that's going to be a great program that we're going to make available to the community at Colonial Golf Course, which we also own. We have a DRI project as well to do outdoor music festivals, of which we used to have here.
Yeah, well, that was the game changer for the summer.
Yeah, Taste of Country and Mountain Jam.
That was earlier, but back in my time, it was
the Summer Festival.
The Oktoberfest, which was like the big German thing, and I actually was called in to play blow bass tuba, and it's at 18 years old. But That was the big deal.
It was like weeks long.
Oh, yeah. And people would just be
The whole
there
summer.
and Dawson, jeder Hasen, ja, und wir make the polka,
Yeah.
That's fantastic. The live music stuff has been a real driver for our county-wide economy. We just came off of Gray Fox and Oak
Yeah.
Hill,
Great
which
Fox
has
is
been
amazing.
absolutely spectacular, right?
Yeah.
Catskill Irish Arts Week down in Durham is always wonderful.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
Yep.
you have the Eastern Irish Festival, which is great. One of the things that I'm seeing now is much more of a kind of a micro thing that's happening, where like there's a new event space in the town of Carroll, technically in Leeds, called Meadowbrook Farm.
I
And
just
Meadowbrook
went
Farm's
there.
Catskill, right?
Oh, it's amazing.
And
It's
so,
so fun.
Sean, Steve and his wife Angela
Worth.
Worth.
Jeez.
Jeez.
I grew up with them.
That's terrible. Thank you. I stand corrected. Steve Worth, I used to give guitar lessons to as a kid, but Angela is fantastic. Great vision. And now they're having these little micro events. Like they had a tequila and tacos thing with salsa dancing, and they're having sunflower and sangria this weekend, and all these little micro destinations. So that festival activity at the
A little bit of a larger event,
little
you know,
larger, yeah.
And we're still going to operate a golf course.
Yeah,
I want to make sure that everyone is clear on that. Golf course is very important to our community, but for a couple of weekends each year, we look to activate a larger music experience.
Cool.
And we think we have an incredible and darn near perfect sort of natural environment where we've put in a lot of infrastructure, power, water, stage pad, etc., backstage area. We're going to have over-the-air Wi-Fi.
Very cool.
Got a great partnership with a large promoter that is going to be bringing some
serious names.
noteworthy
noteworthy
acts to the mountaintop.
Now, we keep on talking about the DRI, and the DRI is the Downtown Revitalization Initiative of New York State. A lot of that all comes through another acronym that we're always saying is the CFA, the Consolidated Funding Application. So if you're looking to do a business in Greene County, or you're a 501c3 or not-for-profit that's looking to access some of this funding, New York does have a great system of a portal by which you can create under one consolidated funding application applications for any number of variety of sources. And you've worked with that significantly, right?
We have. You put in the idea into the portal, and then New York State will filter you to the appropriate agency that may have the funding for it.
Yeah.
We have worked with a number of CFAs in the past, both with the village, for the Hunter Foundation, for trail projects. We're also working on a very sort of town-wide multi-use trail that we have funded through smart growth with the DEC and consolidated funding applications, one of which is on the site of the former Camp Jened, which is near Hunter Mountain. We call it the birthplace of the ADA, or the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Yeah.
We think we have the funding to build an ADA compliant trail.
Awesome.
So a rail trail,
Yeah.
ADA compliant, but the model of what an ADA compliant trail would be.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Please keep us in the loop about that, because those types of successes we just want to continue to document. And
Absolutely.
promote. Yeah. Most folks that come to the village of Tannersville come up through the hairpin turn around Catskill Falls. Probably end up hiking down to a wonderful overlook that they have built here a few years ago. Jessica had experienced that firsthand this morning, getting backed up behind a multi-axle vehicle.
I was there for like 10 minutes, I think. It was a while. I was running late.
So always,
Temporary.
Yeah,
Temporary.
It'll be done by winter. Don't worry.
Yes.
It should be done by Saturday, right?
Yeah, it is. I remember we had to get the press release out. It's kind of a bit scary to the unindoctrinated as you're going through. But suffice it to say, living in Catskill and going to college in Oneonta, I took the Trailways bus more times than I'd like to care about.
yeah.
You know, I mean, and just to think that you can get a tour bus around that corner, and they do it every day.
They do.
It's
Up and down.
Up and
Yeah.
down.
It's one of the most beautiful roads in New York State.
Absolutely.
is.
Absolutely. It's, what can you tell me, Sarah, about working with the Hunter Foundation in the future?
I think my initial interest was making sure that there was a connection between Hunter Mountain and creating that bridge. There was always a member of my family kind of involved in the foundation. And so I think I just felt like it was my turn to step up, so create that bridge. But since joining the board, I've involved myself in different ways. It's one of those things that you want to be part of a group. The intention is 100% good. Bringing things to the community that like the fireworks show, 4th of July, is fully funded by this organization because we want to have a wonderful display on 4th of July weekend for all the people in the community. We own a lot of buildings, and we have programs that we would love for business owners to come in and create a business in our buildings and then eventually take them on. But we know that those are not things that are going to happen overnight all the time. So the Hunter Foundation is a group that just continues to think of ways to give back to the community, to offer up some opportunity for local people to work for some of the businesses that we operate. And so it's just something that's just fundamentally good that is nice to be a part of.
So how does anyone find out more about supporting or getting more involved with the Hunter Foundation?
Yeah, going on our website, sending an email. The woman that keeps things churning every day, Holly.
Better on the way in.
Yeah. She's the one to talk to about getting involved. She just ran our wonderful fundraiser on Sunday. We have an annual fundraiser at the golf course. That was a garden party, beautiful. And she was the force behind it. And so that there's volunteer efforts there. We have a lot of our local students participate in that each summer to get some volunteer credits for school to graduate. But also it's just a fun party to be a part of. And then there's all kinds of other initiatives that we have, opportunities to be on a committee. So if you don't want to be on the board, or if you don't want to come to a board meeting, which everybody is welcome to come, you can join a committee and participate in that way. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
The door's always open,
Always.
and we are always willing to help if we can. Part of our being here, this location in the middle of the village of Tannersville, is that people walk in all the time. We actually have a whole bunch of brochures and things because we kind of operate as sort of the local tourism board
You
as
really
well.
can't miss the place. I mean, it is very vividly painted as appropriate for
Intentionally,
the village. Intentionally, and it's definitely there. It is definitely highly visible.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you guys today. You have so many things that have made an impact, so many things that are making an impact. You guys are working hard every day. Is there any message that you want to deliver to anyone about the communities and what you're doing to it, as far as new folks coming in or other folks wanting to just come up and visit?
You know what I would say is we have a lot going on. We have a lot to offer here on the mountaintop and in the town of Hunter and the villages. As someone coming here, there's so much to do. An incredible amount of activities, organizations to get involved with. We're looking for more local involvement. We have an incredible school district, natural amenities beyond what anyone can really imagine. A lot of really good people that are trying to move the community forward every single day. If you like the outdoors, we're the community for you.
Absolutely, and Four Seasons.
Yeah,
Four
Four Seasons destination.
I mean, there may be a little bit of people sometimes in April. They just say that's when we go on vacation because spring isn't quite kicked in. When it's quite done.
April, November. Yeah. Maybe there's a time where everybody can take a little break. There's actually still things going on that time. You know, the good thing is like restaurants kind of work together and make sure not everybody closes at the same time. So there's still a place to get food.
Yeah.
We are going back to a four-season property, or location. I think there's things to do year-round. The weather obviously plays a part in our winter side of the business. We've had some really great seasons, but as you said from the start, we are 100% snowmaking at Hunter Mountain, so all we need is some cold air, and you can have some fun at Hunter Mountain. There's some goals there to kind of also bring some more summer events back, some entertainment, looking at different partners, making sure that Hunter Mountain, which is of course owned by Vail Resorts, is appropriately part of the community as it always has been. So I think that's the most exciting for me.
And it's wonderful to have a new partner that's there. The fact that these people, I think, get it. You know.
It's incredible. I mean, we have an entire division of our company that is community focused. How are you reaching out to community? What boards are your leaders on? The only way that our ski resorts can survive in the communities is with the community. Absolutely. You know, we have to work together. Everybody is on the same team. Everybody is part of the driving force of just the revenue coming in, the guests coming in, and the experience. That's what people are coming up here for. And that trickles down into the valley too. We want to support everybody. Hey, we need to get down the hill to utilize your resources too.
Has there been a significant success story that the Hunter Foundation has?
I think we have more than a few significant success stories. So the one that really comes to mind is Terrence and Amy Mall, who are the current owners of Pantry on Main.
Yeah.
And Terrence and Amy actually formerly ran, then purchased from the Hunter Foundation the Hotel Mountain Brook. So they came in as operators. They purchased the Hotel Mountain Brook which is just an incredible property, from the Hunter Foundation. They operated it, raised their family here. The kids went to school. They decided that they wanted a change in their life, so they sold the Hotel Mountain Brook, and the new owners are fantastic as well. But then they went on to their next project, which is the Pantry on Main. The Pantry on Main was formerly the A&P supermarket right in the middle of the village of Tannersville, and it was essentially in ruin. The Hunter Foundation purchased it. We helped Terrence and Amy sort of put together the funding, but they did all the work to bring that place back, and they designed it, and now they have a thriving business. They have tenants in there, some rooms as well. But I mean, if you're looking for a really great meal, you gotta go to the Pantry on Main.
It's great pancakes.
Yeah, and breakfast, lunch, dinner. You know, they've got it's one of the most dynamic eateries that's come along. That's a great
And catering. Catering as well.
Yeah.
Remember the Bear and Fox at the head of Main Street?
Yeah.
Those ladies did an incredible job early on the pandemic by opening up their place to having drop off for local farmers markets and stuff like that, and they did incredible work there. But that's now been changed to a great noodle bar. Lucky Catskills.
Lucky Catskills.
And we're seeing a lot of different flavors coming in across the various towns. The one that I'm really excited about, it's one in East Durham, O'Shaughnessy's Noodle Bar or something, or O'Shaughnessy's Hong Kong. You know,
I drove past that place.
Yeah,
and actually,
it's coming. Maybe hopefully a future episode.
Great.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah.
But Tannersville and Hunter are great opportunities for restaurants. There's a huge demand for different palates. We're thankful to have as many restaurants as we do.
It's getting to that season, fall, driving around doing a lot of eating and looking at great views and all of
Leaf
that.
peeping,
Leaf
we'll
peeping,
see a lot of people coming through for that.
Great. Hopefully, we're fingers crossed for a really, really, really great color this year.
Yes.
Very busy. Indicators are good, but we've been disappointed a couple of years. It's just when you go
Sometimes
straight from green to brown.
Fast.
It does, especially if it's dry. And we do have Oktoberfest.
We do have Oktoberfest.
That are back. So we have 3 weekends of Oktoberfest coming up. The last weekend of September and the first 2 of October, where you can ride the chairlift to the summit. And see the beautiful views and all the tree colors. So
it's an incredible event.
Especially if you're a non-skier boarder like me and have not ridden the chairlift to the summit of Hunter Mountain, that is a bucket list item, folks.
Yeah.
Really something that's cool. Great to see those types of things being utilized in 4 seasons.
Oh, absolutely.
So how do you guys ensure long-term financial stability and sustainability beyond your grant funding? I know you guys just got a DRI, but other than that...
What I'll say to that is that we are a 501c3 and we survive on donations. Thankfully, we have some incredible partners, the largest of which is the Royce Family Fund. That is a family partnership that is headed by Chuck and Deborah Royce, who've had homes in the town of Hunter for a long time. Thankfully, with their resources, we are fully funded through other private donations, which, our annual fundraiser, which we just had this past weekend, that sustains us. But additionally, we operate trying to run 2 profitable businesses, rental incomes from the properties that we have. All of that money really is going directly back into the community. So
I would imagine your local bankers are probably pretty
we have some great local banks, Bank of Greene County, so
Pete DiStefano, he ran the barbershop down in Catskill for years and years and years. He always told the story.
And he's a big skier.
Yeah, he is.
He is. He's a big skier.
Yep.
Well, I got my first haircut from his dad. In November of 1962, because my father was sick and tired of everybody saying what a cute little baby daughter he had. So Gibson walked in as a young man, and Joe Boy hooked him up with present leadership at the bank, and the rest has been history.
Oh, absolutely. We also have Kathy Wade. She's on our board, and Kathy Wade keeps us plugged into the Bank of Greene County greatly.
It's fantastic when you've got the kind of board support.
Yeah.
The Bank of Greene County is another example of an organization that is all about community.
Yes.
And always has been, and Don Gibson does a great job of just maintaining that connection to the local community.
Chamber events, economic development events, and other things like that, you're always seeing representation.
Absolutely.
Alan Austin is a wonderful, wonderful guy. Perry Lasher was a great guy when he worked there, but he's
enjoying life.
Enjoying life. Want to see him go up to Greenville to Tasting Lab on his trivia night.
Absolutely.
Well, it's been another great episode of the Best Kept Secrets of Greene County, New York podcast, where we continue to let the Catskills out of the bag. Thank you again, Sean and Sarah, for joining Jessica and I.
My pleasure. Thank you.
It was really great. Thank you for having us.
Jessica is starting to just work with me on getting together a schedule that we can all live with, so hopefully by the end of the recording of the next podcast, we'll be able to have another one queued up and let you know what's coming next. But for now, we do have places to go, things to do, and stories to tell.